All right, on these set of slides, we're talking about the overview of FHA, Fair Housing Act. The Fair Housing Act protects people from discrimination when they are renting or buying a home, getting a mortgage, seeking housing assistance, or engaging in other housing-related activities. The Civil Rights Act of 1866 prohibits all forms of racial discrimination in real estate, whether committed by government or private parties. The Civil Rights Act was amended to Title VIII of the Civil Rights Act of 1968 and is also known as the Fair Housing Act of 1968. The Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, enforces FHA. Following is exempt under the Fair Housing Act. We remember this as SHOP. That's single-family homes sold or rented by the owner without the use of a real estate agent. Housing run by religious organizations. Owner-occupied properties with no more than 4 units and owner lives in 1 unit. And private clubs who limit occupancy to members-only clubs. Protected classes under the Fair Housing Act. We remember these as SCORE FH. Remember, the FH is for fair housing. SCORE FH. That's sex, color, national origin, race, religion, familial status, and handicap disability. Familial status. Familial status is defined as any family in which individuals under the age of 18 and still live with the parent or legal custodian, or individual who is designated by the parent or legal custodian and who has written permission from the parent or legal custodian. FHA deals with 4 main areas: redlining, reverse redlining, steering, and blockbusting. Redlining. Redlining is done when a lender denies an applicant a loan for housing in a certain neighborhood, even though the applicant may be eligible for the loan. This is done by lenders. Reverse redlining. Reverse redlining is done when the lender will only approve loans in a particular neighborhood and will choose not to do business in lower class areas, often based on income, race, or ethnicity within particular geographical areas. This is also done by lenders. Then we have steering. Steering refers to the illegal practice of directing a prospective homebuyer to or away from a neighborhood based on the presence or absence of a protected class. This is done by real estate agents. And lastly, we have blockbusting. Blockbusting is the practice of persuading owners to sell property cheaply because of the fear of people of another race or class moving in the neighborhood, and thus profiting by reselling it at a higher price. This is also done by real estate agents. Complaints must be filed with HUD within 1 year of the last date of the alleged discrimination under the Fair Housing Act. The Fair Housing Act states that all advertisements must not be discriminatory towards the classes protected by FHA. To ensure this is properly portrayed to consumers, HUD states that this requirement will be in accordance with FHA by using the verbiage equal housing opportunity if you work for a broker, or equal housing lender if you work for a lender, and both must show the equal housing logo on all advertisements. All right, let's bring it all together. FHA, Fair Housing Act, created under Title VIII of the Civil Rights Act of 1968. It's enforced by HUD, prohibits discrimination in the sale and lease of residential property. It has 7 protected classes. Remember that as SCORE FH. It has certain exemptions under it. The acronym is SHOP. Deals with redlining, reverse redlining, steering, and blockbusting. And advertisements require the equal housing verbiage and logo. Remember, if you work for a lender, it's equal housing lender. If you work for a broker, it's equal housing opportunity. All right, I'll see you all on the next set of slides. Don't forget to do your flashcards.